Welcome to Lecture 3. In this lecture, we'll be discussing theories in anthropology. Anthropologists have three basic questions that they ask in reference to coming up with a theory about why people do the things they do. The first set of questions deals with where the behavior came from and the origins of that behavior. These theories are called historical and evolutionary theories. Historical theories in particular look at the spread or diffusion of cultural traditions from one place to another. For example, right now cultural anthropologists are looking at things like the spread of nuclear weapons and weapons of mass destruction. Where did they come from? Who had them first? How did they get to be where they are now? Evolutionary theories deal in a more basic sense with the biological explanations for behavior. For example, these theories look at the cultural universal of defining people in terms of race. Anthropologists refer to this process as othering, and anthropologists are very concerned with why everyone seems intent on making everyone else appear different, other than themselves, and inferior or less than equal. Okay. This probably at one point in time had survival value, being able to recognize your family, people who were familiar to you, who would be willing to help you, share with you, and provide for you, as opposed to recognizing the other, people who were in some significant way different from you, who would less likely be willing to help you and more willing to harm you or show aggression towards you. The second category of theory is functional and interactional theories. These theories deal with the questions of how does something work and what are its effects. Functional theory, for example, might look at the presence of cows in India and try to explain why in a country where people frequently are starving, there are animals running around who could be eaten. Functional theorists would say, okay, people could have a few good meals, a few hamburgers, a few steaks, or let's look more deeply and see what they could have by keeping the cows around. Fertilizer, for one. In a country where people can't afford to buy fertilizer, cows provide it. In addition, cows provide fuel in a country where there's very little in the way of firewood, coal, or oil resources. The fuel they provide, of course, is in the form of cow dung, which can easily be burned and is easily burned to boil rice. In addition, cows serve as a form of currency in a country where currency has not had a great deal of stability. They can be used for dowries, down payments, etc. Cows also are used to pull plows and are beasts of burden, carrying people from one place to another and carrying goods from farm to market in a country where trucks and tractors are too expensive for the common person. Last but not least, cows eat the grass that nobody else wants. They eat the scrub grass that hides snakes, that hides vermin, and they provide free lawnmowers for the people that they surround. The third category the interactional theories deal with the interactions between people, particularly the communications. Cultural anthropologists right now, for example, are very interested in the communications, the interactions that are going on between Iraq, the United States, the United Nations, and a variety of other countries around the world. How these interactions are working, or in this case not working, is important, and theories in anthropology look at how cultural variation leads to those types of misunderstandings and hopefully leads to being able to improve the circumstances of those communications. The third category of theories are symbolic and interpretive theories. Symbolic and interpretive theories look at the meaning of human behavior. What does it mean, for example, when infanticide is practiced in a culture? Are infants simply being returned to the spirit world? Is the infant not yet considered alive in a religious sense until they've undergone some type of naming ceremonies? These are cultures, mind you, where approximately 50% or more of the infants die before their second birthday. What attachment or what meaning does a newborn have to people in a culture such as that? Finally, the interpretive theories look at how statements or homilies within a culture can lead to different types of symbolic meanings. For example, in our culture, we're often told anyone can grow up to be president, or you can be whatever you want to be. True or not, it sends a certain type of message to people. You're responsible for your own behavior. Stand out as an individual. Other countries, Asian countries for example, are more likely to tell a child, the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. The suggestion there being, you shouldn't stand out in the crowd. You should do what's expected of you and be like everyone else. These three types of theories are valuable in the field of anthropology, even though most anthropologists are eclectic and use a blend of different theories depending on the circumstances they find themselves in.